For what purpose does the gentleman from South Carolina seek recognition?
Mr. Speaker, I rise to ask unanimous consent that I am allowed to speak out of order.
Without objection, so ordered.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I, like many others, was shocked and saddened to learn of the passing of Senator Lindsey Graham, who served in this body from 1995 to 2003, when he left to begin serving in the Senate. I wrote in the introduction of my memoir that I entitled Blessed Experiences, Genuinely Southern, Proudly Black. All of my experiences have not been pleasant, but I have considered all of them to be blessings. And so it was with Lindsey Graham. My relationships with Lindsey were sometimes partisan and passionate, mostly productive on behalf of the people of South Carolina. For more than 3 decades, we served the people of the Panhandle State together here in Congress. Throughout that time, we maintained a relationship grounded in mutual respect, even when our political differences were significant. His commitment to public service and the people he represented will remain an enduring part of his legacy. I shall never forget playing a round of golf with Lindsey Graham at one of South Carolina's many beautiful golf courses. And I raised an issue with him that I thought was very significant. I said to him that South Carolina, which I consider to be one of, if not the most historic state in our nation, was without a heritage corridor. And I thought the one was in order for the state. And Lindsey said he agreed with me, but I said to him, I said, Lindsey, this bill that I've introduced to create the South Carolina National Heritage Corridor will never become law with my name on it. Things had gotten a bit too partisan back in 1994 and 5, 6. And I asked him to put his name on it. And he said to me, I don't want to take your legislation. And I said to him, you're not taking it. I'm giving it to you. And then he said, I don't know if I understand what it's all about. And I said to him, when the bill is called, invite me to speak on it. And he did. South Carolina got that heritage corridor and has now gotten 2 more since. And in every one of those heritage corridors, I worked with Lindsey Graham to make it happen. South Carolina now has 3 national monuments or 3 national parks. We had only 1 national monument, but now we have 3 national parks. The monument, I worked with his predecessor to get, but with the last 2 national parks, I worked with Lindsey Graham to do it quietly. We didn't have press conferences. We just sat down with each other, or we got in a golf cart together to make it happen. That's the way it was with Lindsey Graham, someone who was passionate but productive and sometimes pleasant. Sometimes. With that, I'd like to yield to Congressman Joe Wilson.
Thank you very much, Congressman Jim Clyburn. And indeed, it is bipartisan this afternoon or this evening with our delegation. And we of South Carolina so appreciate the remarkable service and successes of Senator Lindsey Graham. It's so impersonal to me. I got to meet him in his public service as Staff Judge Advocate for the Army Guard. He was Staff Judge Advocate for the Air Guard. And for his public service, military, he served in the State House of South Carolina, the U.S. Congress, and obviously in the U.S. Senate. But he was dedicated to the people of South Carolina. And it's really incredible. The last week of his service, he was present with President Trump, for the NATO meetings in Ankara. And while he was there, he met with President Ahmad al-Shara of Syria and proclaimed that we need to give Syria a chance. And he understood how important it is, a stable and secure Syria, himself being a proponent of a stable and sovereign Israel. And he's always stood with Israel. And then on Friday, of all things, he had the opportunity to be in Kyiv, Ukraine, with President Vladimir Zelensky, where he, again, was so forceful in pointing out that indeed the sanctions bill has been agreed to by President Donald Trump, sanctions on war criminal Putin. And while he was there, he also toured a drone manufacturing facility. He returned back to the United States on Saturday, and sadly, he actually had a very positive conversation with President Donald Trump, and then almost immediately after that call, he sadly had a chronic acute heart attack and passed away. In the meantime, today is a very significant day in that our Governor, Henry McMaster, I think, has made an incredible choice, and that is to appoint the sister of Senator Lindsey Graham, Darlene, to be the new U.S. Senator from South Carolina. And so as we're remembering Senator Graham, we can just cherish so many memories that all of us have. And with that, I would like to now move for a moment of silence. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, I send to the desk a privileged resolution and ask for its immediate consideration in the House.
Gentleman will suspend.
For what purpose does the gentleman from South Carolina seek recognition?
Mr. Speaker, or Madam Speaker, I send to the House a privileged resolution and ask for its immediate consideration in the House.
The clerk will report the resolution.
House Resolution 1424. Resolved that the House has heard with profound sorrow of the death of the Honorable Lindsey Graham, a senator from the state of South Carolina. Resolved that the clerk communicate these resolutions to the Senate and transmit a copy thereof to the family of the deceased. Resolved that when the House adjourns today, it adjourn as a further mark of respect to the memory of the deceased senator.
Without objection, the resolution is agreed to, and the motion to reconsider is laid on the table.
Madam Speaker, I move that the House do now adjourn.
The question is on the motion to adjourn. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it. The motion is agreed to. Accordingly, pursuant to House Resolution 1424, the House stands adjourned until 10 a.m. tomorrow as a further mark of respect to the memory of the late Honorable Lindsey Graham.
Today